Hi there, my name is Phila Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And this is the third in my ongoing set of guides to Big Finish. Big Finish is I think, fantastic company. I shamelessly shill for them because I just love so much of what they do. But yeah, so I started doing these guides because there's an impenetrable wall of content they have, and you don't know where to start. You don't know where, and they're always giving stuff away for free. So I saw today they're giving away a Sherlock Holmes story, The Speckled Band, for free, which is fantastic. It's actually one of my favorite releases of theirs, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I thought I'd do a guide to the whole Sherlock Holmes range. There's tons of Big Finish news to talk about, though, by the way. The monthly range is ending. Yeah, and what's going to happen? So listen, I'm doing a live stream tonight. That's what it's May 26th, 2012. Not 2012. I wish it was 2012. Yeah, it's 2020. It's May 26th, 2020 at 5 o'clock UK time. I'm going live. We're going to talk about all the new Big Finish news. That'll be noon on the East Coast of America, on 9 a.m. on the West Coast. Fine, so let's talk. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? And if you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. I'm getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. I'm crawling in there. But it's actually, and YouTube does push you back the more you push forward. So can you hit that subscribe button? If you subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed. If you subscribe, you have a chance to win a fantastic prize. I give prizes away pretty much every week on this channel. What I'm giving away this week is the Matrix Ultimate DVD Collection. It's got all the Matrix movies in it, plus the Animatrix. A bunch of animated stuff set in the Matrix world, which are really good. And the Ultimate Matrix Experience, which is like these, I think, 2 or 3 discs on the making of, and everything you would ever want to know about the Matrix. Absolutely fantastic prize. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and then leave the hashtag there is no spoon. There is no spoon. That is the hashtag because I fundamentally believe there is no spoon. Fine. So let's talk about the Big Finish Sherlock Holmes range. Firstly, you go to Big Finish right now. They're giving away the Speckled Band for free. This is really a book on tape. It's Richard Earle, who's Dr. Watson. Is fantastic. He narrates it. Great music. Great music. Great. What's the word? Production. It rattles you along. It really works because all the Sherlock Holmes stories were all told in first person by Watson. So I just really love this. It's free. It's free. Go and download. There's no catch. Go and help yourself. But once you're there, let's take a look at the entire range. So the range starts off. The first 2 Sherlock Holmes ones they did had who was it? David Llewellyn played Holmes, and these were the only 2. And these are okay. These are workable. One was Sherlock Holmes: The Last Act, and one was Sherlock Holmes: The Death and Life. And these are very much like plays examining Holmes. These are one-man plays about Sherlock Holmes rather than recreations of stories. David Llewellyn is fine as Holmes. He doesn't really do much for me, but look, I like the role. Yeah, so but yeah, they're fine. Then again, they're $2.50, they're $2.49 each. Again, if you're looking for that to listen to, it's so worth the money. Also, $2.49, which I think is a way quite a bit better, is the first Nicholas Briggs and what's his name? James? Is it James Earle? Nicholas Briggs and Richard Earle Sherlock Holmes, and they became the definitive Big Finish Sherlock Holmes, and I think they're kind of one of the definitive Sherlock Holmes pairings. Nicholas Briggs, who you may know, he's famous for doing the voice of the Darks. I'm always distracted when I ever see him being, recognizably him in anything, because I just find him so incredibly recognizable. Go, oh look, there's Big Finish. Yeah, I mean, oh look, there's Nick Briggs. It's like, oh, there you go. It always kind of pulls me out or something because, again, I just recognize him so much. But this one, he really works in it. I think this role is really designed for him. So this is great. So the first one they released is called Holmes and the Ripper, which is who wrote it? See if I can see. Written by Brian Clements. Really great script. I haven't listened to it for years, but I still remember it. That's how good the script is. A really great script pitting Sherlock Holmes against Jack the Ripper. It's essentially what it says on the tin, and again, $2.50, totally worth it. So the next one they released was the Speckled Band, which again, just Richard. Nicholas Briggs may turn up in it to say Holmes's lines. I don't recall, but it's a really, really good reading of story and a great story as well. I actually think it's one of the definitive Sherlock Holmes stories. It's it's I think that's because it was one of the first Jeremy Brett ones I saw. So yeah, and I was young at the time, so that really had an impression on me on what I wanted Sherlock Holmes to be. Up until then, I've only I think I ever saw the Basil Rathbone Holmes. I just love the Jeremy Brett one. So the vibe of these ones is, I would say, 3/4 Jeremy Brett, 1/4 Basil Rathbone. He's got that gentlemanly feeling of Basil Rathbone, but it's got that that Victorian and Edwardian realism that Jeremy Brett had. So yeah, another fine one. So then they did another season of stories, half new stories and half recreations of Conan Doyle stories. The first one in this, oh my God, these are all 250. I would buy up this whole range. I mean, $10, you get yourself a real good amount of listening pleasure. So the first one they released was 2 recreations of Conan Doyle stories, 2 very iconic stories. The Final Problem, which Holmes appears to die at the hands of Moriarty at the Reichenbach Falls. Both Holmes and Moriarty plunge into the abyss. Although unseen, that's just what Watson believes. And then a few years later, Conan Doyle brings it back with The Empty House. Really good adaptations. Again, for me, this one is kind of like a fifth wheel, because I just found the Jeremy Brett adaptation so iconic. I just never need another one. But this is very good for audio. The next release is called I think there's a 2-disc release, or maybe even more, called The Reification of Hans Gruber. This is by George Mann. Is it? It's by George Mann. I'm trying to read the thumbnail. I should just click on it so I can enlarge it. But no, it's by George Mann. Yeah, this one is a very Holmesian story, which it was one of those things that you would hear Holmes or Watson mentioning. I mean, one of those other adventures you would hear them mentioning, and now you get it in. It feels very Holmesian, and I like it. I like this one a lot. The next release they did, which was really excellent. This was, I think, kind of definitive. It's a definitive Holmes story. It's the Hound of the Baskervilles. Another great. So I'm going to click on it and find out how many discs there, because these are for $250. These are just fantastic value. So these all must be two disc release. Let's have a look. Backstage production. Does it say how many? Yeah, 2 discs. It's $250. Oh my gosh, it's such great value. Hound of the Baskervilles. This is good because it's one of the most I was going to say screen accurate. It's one of the most accurate adaptations of Hound of the Baskervilles, which you don't often get. It's pretty darn good. And then I think the final release, this was from 2012. The final release is called Sherlock Holmes: The Tangled Skein, which is essentially Sherlock Holmes versus Dracula, I believe. Who do they cast as Dracula? Let's have a look. Giles Watling plays Dracula. This must be way before Mark Gatiss took on the role for Big Finish. I think I would have preferred that more. Interesting idea. It was a very interesting idea. And yeah, I think they all work. So the next release is even cheaper, $150. It's a single disc release. It's Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Perfidious Mariner. This starts a arc of stories that takes it all the way through to the end of the Big Finish range. And again, if you want to stick your toes into what Big Finish really did with Holmes, this is the release to get. If you want, again, Speckled Band, free. That's the release to get. Again, I know I'm Jewish, but I can't. That being Jewish means I have to give you financial advice. In fact, my financial advice is this: go for the free one. Go for the free one and see if you like it. Then, if you like it, go for this cheap one. Okay, just help you out there. So this is a story set after the sinking of the Titanic, and we see a real broken Holmes there. Holmes who wants to divorce himself from detecting a Holmes that doesn't believe in himself anymore. This is Holmes close to his retirement, and it's a really good one. This is what I love about Holmes, when they get into this spooky semi supernatural territory, because then you get the feeling that Holmes needs to debunk it. So yeah, so that, but it also sets up a bunch of stuff that goes on in the subsequent releases which come in these box sets. This was written by who's this written by? I mean, think I'm gonna have to click on it now. Dunk is written by not Samuel Clemens. Who was it? I'm going to kick myself in a minute. Jonathan Barnes. It's written by Jonathan Barnes, who is perfect casting for this. So again, the Jonathan Barnes Big Finish Sherlock Holmes cycle starts here. So the first one is a really good box set. I believe it's what, 4 episodes long. How many discs is this? Look. 4 discs, and again another bargain. Not quite as not quite as great a bargain as the other one. This you get the whole box set for $12.49. And as I recall, they did something really clever in this. They take Sherlock Holmes through different stages of his life. You see like a young Holmes, like just starting out on his career. You see like an established Holmes, and you see an older Holmes. And that older Holmes is where we this range eventually lands on, as they set up a ongoing antagonist and a group of antagonists, which is then played out in the subsequent box sets. You got next one is the Judgment of Sherlock Holmes, and then it carries on, and then everything comes to a head, I believe, in the Sacrifice of Sherlock Holmes, which ends in a really, really interesting spot. It ends kind of like as a pilot for a whole new series, where it's like you've got a very old Holmes, like a very aged Holmes, as an advisor to a kind of steampunk 1920s X-Files, unit, countermeasures type group, which I really wanted to see. And they'll talk about, this wonderful scene at the end where they're talking about being on the ice of the Antarctic, and they see these lights under the ice. I'm like, oh yeah, give me more of that. I want to see where that's going. That's fine. So then they continued the range with two more releases, which is really weirdly priced. You have one which is $1.99, and you have one which is $13.33. I cannot remember why the more expensive one. I think the $1.99 one is included in the Master of Blackstone Grange. Let's see what discs are what's included in that. That's a 4-disc release. So the Adventure of the Fleet Street Transparency is a shorter adventure in the Master of the Blackstone Grange. So if you want to check it out first, go for the $1.99 one. But the full one is $13.33. Interesting price to land on, $13.33. Okay, whatever. It's on sale. It's normally $19.99 now. It's reduced to $13.33. So this is where they kind of bring Holmes more into Edwardian supernatural territory. This is a crossover with The Invisible Man. Now, Big Finish did a release of a season of H.G. Wells adaptations, and those ones are really good. Who played the original man in that one was John Hurt. Fantastic portrayal. Really, really liked it. But this dovetails into that, and they married together very, very nicely. There's one more release we need to talk about if we're talking about Big Finish and Sherlock Holmes. Where they also have a free episode you can download, check it out. And this is the adaptation of the Virgin novel, The All-Consuming Fire, or All-Consuming Fire, which is essentially the Virgin Seventh Doctor, Doctor, who's quite a bit different, I would say, from the TV Doctor, on an adventure with Sherlock Holmes throughout Edwardian, I think Victorian London. Yeah, this is one that Nick Briggs had resisted for a long time. He kept kidding us, are you going to do an adaptation? And he's like, no. And then all of a sudden they were. And this one is one I really like. Listen, if you like Sylvester McCoy's Doctor and you like Sherlock Holmes, which I do, this is a great release. I kind of prefer the book a bit because it goes into more detail, obviously, because it's a book. But it's a real sort of release. The book was written by Andy Lane, and the adaptation it was by Guy Adams. Fantastic stuff. I really hope they do more. They see Big Finish's Sherlock Holmes range seems to have been replaced by their Dracula range, which stars Mark Gatiss, which I'm behind. Which I only listened to the first one of. I haven't listened to the subsequent one, Dracula's Guest, or they've got another on Dracula's War coming up. So, but yeah, that's essentially where it is. That is your guide to the Big Finish Sherlock Holmes ranges. They're all fantastic. Again, check out the free one. Really, but they're all fantastic. If you're looking for something new to listen to, I recommend them all. They're all on sale. They're all worth your time. Big Finish is a great company that support us. I think we should do whatever we can to support them. And if you're supporting people, go and support me. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. My name is Sheila Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have yourself a fantastic day.